nothing. She's in shock. Her hands are bleeding. Her fingers. She's filthy.
Oh, no.
What?
No. How could we? So stupid.
Xander.
Our spell. Our resurrection spell worked like a magic charm. We brought you back to life, Buffy. Right where we left her.
Oh, God.
In her coffin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Revisiting Sunnydale. I am Camila.
I'm Marcella.
This is a redo. So this is
Mulligan.
Exactly. This is the bargaining part 2 redo. So Well, the first time we had some technical difficulties. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Blah blah blah. You don't really care about all that. Just know, and I tried to, it was on me, like, Marcella didn't even know that it didn't record. I noticed that it didn't happen, and I tried to play it off and just go ahead and keep trucking along, and was hoping that nobody's gonna notice. And then we got called on it. A young lady sent us a message on Facebook. Thanks for caring, though. Honestly,
yeah, thanks for caring.
I appreciate that. I know that people are listening. We know people are listening, and know that people care. So thank you for that. And that forced us to go ahead and have to re-record. So yeah, here we are.
And also thank you to the listener who let us know that for whatever reason, iTunes likes to just throw everything out of order.
Right. So it looks like if you scroll all the way down on iTunes, it looks like the first episode is number 45. That is not the case. I don't know why it's doing like that, but I don't know. I didn't check to see if all of them are still there. I don't think they are, but like if you right above number 45 is episode 6. So I don't know why it's all out of whack like that. But if you go to our website, revisitingsunnydale.com, or if you follow us on Libsyn, they're definitely all there, and they're definitely all in order. So you just go all the way down to 1, and you can start your game from there. I haven't checked Player FM or iHeartRadio or.
I'm sure they're fine. Apple's a dick.
Yeah, they've just kind of given up.
I'll say it. I ain't scared of you.
They're lazy
Bring it,
faces.
Apple. I ain't scared of you.
Maybe I'll take a look at the other ones. But yeah, I know definitely on our website and on Libsyn, which is directly connected to our website's directly connected to Libsyn. So those are all good. They're all still there, starting from number 1. Because, this is important information, because thank you to the ladies from Buffering the Vampire Slayer podcast. We now have a bunch of new listeners and followers on Twitter and everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on the Instagram page, the Facebook page, on my Instagram page, my Twitter, we are not worthy, Buffering. Thank you so much. We are worthy, apparently. So thank you.
It was
so
amazing. I don't know how they found us or, how we came across them, but they found us and decided to tweet out about us. And I'm stoked because I have enjoyed listening to their podcast, and they're also trying to do some more things, having more conversations on their podcast about race and media and how media affects, a lot of the stereotypes and in things that we have been, stuff Marcella and I have been talking about for a long time now. Specifically about Buffy too, just how we've noticed that there are only a half a handful of people of color on the show.
The ones that are.
Right. Yeah.
Problematic at best.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So if you aren't familiar with them, check them out. And but again, welcome if you are brand new, because they sent you over to us. Thanks for giving us a try. Because we're talking about the same subject, but it's always fun to get different perspectives of the same topic. And and also
we have spoilers, we have swear words, we have things you may not like and things you will. Yeah. We got it all going on here.
Exactly. We cover the gambit of all the things, and it's just a lot, because I fluctuate personally from hating to loving characters, as well as there's still the question out there about James Marsters as a person. I'm still always about Spike, but James Marsters still there's a question mark there.
The feet. I can't get past the feet in the song. I can't get it out of my brain. I wish I never knew that.
Right. So yeah, there's something that I feel like something at some point somebody will connect to and you guys will enjoy. And we are also on Instagram now. RVS_podcast is where you can find us on Instagram. That was a lot of information.
All the lovelies.
Yes. I don't think I want to get into. I was gonna. I don't know. This morning I saw about Naya Rivera.
Oh my God, where is she?
Yeah.
That show, I will just say very quickly, the rest of the surviving cast should be afraid. I would live in a bubble because y'all are cursed.
Well, what happened? Like, I mean, I know that Finn died.
He died.
And then old dude is a pedophile.
He killed himself.
That's right. I totally forgot that he died.
Mm-hmm.
He committed suicide.
He committed suicide, which meant a lot.
Right.
And now she's just straight up missing.
And I know that Leah recently, stories started coming out about
trash.
Right, which I didn't doubt it for a second. Like, not
a second.
Like, no shit.
We were talking about this morning. Like, the fact that she apologized, but then said she didn't remember it, that still makes you a piece of trash.
That's worst.
That's worst. You're a piece of shit.
What a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like, I apologize, but apologies do not have butt in them.
Exactly.
Wow. Fuck you, Leah. Yeah.
And now Naya's just gone.
That's it's scary and it's so sad, and especially like her poor little boy was on the boat by himself. Like, he was 4 years old. Yeah. And they found him.
4-year-old boy. Mm-hmm.
I mean, thank God she rented the boat and, somebody came looking for the boat and it wasn't just like hers, and it was just like days before anybody found him or even knew she was missing. Ooh, so,
I hope they find her. I hope it's like, because there was a stuntman recently who was swimming with his son and got caught in the current, and he managed to like save his son, but then he got swept out.
Oh God.
So then for a few days they were looking for him, and I just kept thinking, please find him, please find him, please find him. They found him.
Oh.
But he was dead.
That's so sad.
I don't want the same thing to happen to her.
I know it. I hope they find her alive and, she will be able to recover from it. Whatever, because I know whatever has happened to her has got to be traumatic at this.
Yeah.
So she's already experienced trauma if she's still alive. And so hopefully they find her alive and she can recover well.
PSA for parents, don't go swimming on a lake in a boat with just you and your child.
Right?
Take a third person, at least one other person.
I mean, there's just... I'm not trying to be like, well, she shouldn't have, but it's just like, I couldn't imagine going to do that and not even thinking about the dangers of it, or just the fact that,
you're a woman alone.
Right. And also just
you're a woman of color alone.
Right. And like, how do you, that's just too much. Like, I don't know.
Uber careful about everything right now. And she probably just wanted to get out.
Yeah. Cause I don't know like I don't know much about her. Like I
don't either.
I know that she was married to some dude, and I guess it's the baby's father, and they got divorced because they were abusive to each other. I don't know. I didn't look too deep into it, but yeah. So
the rest of y'all go hide.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about your safety.
Although, and I guess, on a higher note, and also kind of connecting the Glee, that one dude who I don't even know who he was on Glee, but I'm pretty sure he was. But he's on Mindhunters now, and I forget his real name. But he was in Hamilton. Yes, thank you. And he was in Hamilton. Did you watch Hamilton?
I did.
Oh my God.
Twice.
I watched it 3 times. I know it. I've been listening to the soundtrack on repeat.
I don't understand how they sing that. Like, what's his name? David.
Oh yeah, David Diggs, I think is his name.
Yeah. How do you? We watched this video on YouTube. He was doing 5 words per second.
I watched that one too. That video.
How? I'm like, this is gonna be like the 90s when I would listen to a song over and over and over again until I could do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I haven't tried to tackle that one yet. I've been on Satisfied. That's the one that I've been trying to do. Like, obviously I can't hit most of the notes, but I'm almost there with her rapping part, with her sing-song rapping.
I'm gonna get it.
But also, David, he has a rap group, and I don't know if it was a thing that was or is, but they're called Clipping, and they're really good. And it's also, it's more of that same like quick rap and just like really witty lyrics. So nice. I would check them out.
Okay.
All right.
I will. Yes, it was good. If you guys have Disney Plus or know a friend that has Disney Plus, watch that now.
Right. Seriously. Like I cried twice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. At first, I was like, I'm so excited how long is this? Because we watched it outside in the backyard.
Oh, God.
And so I looked down and I'm like, we're an hour in and there's still 2 hours left. It's going to be after midnight.
Yeah. The first go through, it took me all day to watch it just because I kept pausing and having to like go do something else.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like intermission. I'm like, I'm not there. I don't need it. You need an intermission. I don't need an intermission. I have a pause button.
Right, exactly. And I kind of appreciate, like, it was only a minute. Because, like, on the flip side, I recently watched Fiddler on the Roof for another podcast called The #1 Movie in America. Check it out. And they also kept the intermission. Now, this movie's from like 70 something, and they kept the intermission there. And the intermission was like a full, like smooth 10 minutes of just like the title card and just intermission and just some shitty music. And I'm like, I don't need this.
I have a pause button.
Right. Why are you
just
streaming?
wasted space.
Right.
Like, but Jonathan Groff, his King character is amazing.
So great. So funny.
But dude, the spit.
He says he's a spitter.
He did say and you know, in a normal Broadway setting, you're sat back so far. You're not going to see all that spit.
Exactly. I don't know why they felt the need to choose the close-up shot on it. Like, because that's all I could see afterwards.
Even Lin-Manuel was like, ew, dude. Like
we could have chosen a different shot. I'm sure we had
mm-hmm. I love his gleeful laugh.
Oh, God.
Jonathan, it was so funny. It made me laugh so hard.
You'll be
John
back.
Adams.
John Adams. Oh, I love it so much. And I was like, Dan and I were both like, where do we know this guy from? And then I was like, oh, I think he was on Glee. And I saw something on Twitter like, yeah, Glee. And I didn't really look him up. But I was like, there's no way Dan would know him from Glee. And so I looked him up. I was like, holy shit, Mindhunters? Like that guy? Like that.
Is that good?
It's so good.
I haven't watched it.
And just
yet.
like how cool and calm, and just like the character that he plays on there is just a vast difference from this, just like completely opposite. So I would never, like, I respected him, you know, on the show, but now after seeing this, it's like, oh my God, I love you. Like, you're an awesome actor. Like, you're great. Oh my God.
I will check that out. I just finished Warrior Nun.
How was that?
So good. For such a stupidly titled show, I watched the trailer and I was like, nah, come on. The nun's got that nun just swore. Oh wait, she's not a nun? What's going on? Oh my God, this show's amazing. And then by the time I got to like episode 5, I was like,
oh wow.
And then by the time it was over, I was like, oh, please tell me you have a second season lined up.
Man.
If you don't, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Because
they left you on a massive cliffhanger.
Oh God.
And I don't like when shows do that.
And don't come back.
Yeah. If you don't have a second season locked in, your first season should not end with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's not necessarily going to entice the networks to be like, yes, come on back. It's just,
right.
They don't give a shit.
Right.
I just started watching Orphan Black.
I love that show.
Yeah, I know you've been telling me about it for a long time, and it's on Amazon Prime right now. And I finally and you know, embarrassingly, the reason why it took me so long to start watching it is because I saw the woman Tatiana, whatever her name is. I just saw her, didn't know anything about her, didn't watch her or hear her do anything, and I had already prejudged what she was going to be like. I was like she's gonna be so annoying. Like she looks like she's like her. I can hear her voice. It's probably like really high and just like, and I could just see her now, like everything about her. And then I was like, all right, let's just go ahead, because I was looking for something that had lots of episodes I can just go ahead and watch again. Go ahead and binge watch. The first episode, and I'm like, oh, she's British. Oh, her voice is kind of deep. Oh, she moves cool. Like she's all right. She's cool. She's the people's. Like I like her.
Yep.
And then to see how well she portrays all the different clones of herself.
You forget that it's the same actress.
Like she
every
is
single time.
so good.
Yeah. each one is so different.
Right. And just like down to like really tiny details. Like, I don't know what her process is, but damn, like and I hope she's getting paid well for it because she deserves every single fucking dollar she gets. Like,
she's wonderful.
It's so good.
How far are you?
I'm almost done with season 1. So I think I'm like episode 8 in season 1.
Okay. I will say, as it goes on, as it gets a little long in the tooth,
per usual,
they take a couple turns and I'm like,
I mean, this is kind of, what is this, 5 seasons?
And I think between season 4 and season 5, things changed a lot. So much that I was like, where'd they come? When did this happen?
Well, and
I had to go back and rewatch season 4.
Oh, jeez. This is one of those shows, like the premise of this show, it probably was only meant to, like, it probably would only have been real strong for like 3 seasons, like 2, maybe 3 seasons. It's not something that really should have carried on longer than that. Just the premise from what I understand. But I don't know. I'll stick it through. I'll go ahead and finish it. I'm enjoying it so far. So,
well, now quickly on to our other love. Have you seen the extended Peacock trailer for the second Psych movie?
No, not yet.
Pitter pat.
Oh, because I've been ignoring them because I had no intention of getting Peacock. So I was like, I don't care. I'm not like, I don't want to know what I'm going to be missing and blah blah blah. And then come to find out,
well, Peacock's doing this thing where it's like, sign up for free, and then you can upgrade if you want to keep it. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that as soon as the Psych movie comes out, and then we're gonna cancel it.
Right. And
as soon as I'm done watching it.
Well, a couple weeks ago, I saw that Dan accidentally signed up for Peacock. Because it's like right there on the menu with Comcast, and so like you click on it. And I don't know what he was trying to watch, but
they actually, Comcast is giving for whatever reason, they gave Peacock to all their subscribers for free. So he may not have subscribed
maybe.
to
I know. I have to look into it again because I got an email from him. It's like, welcome to Peacock. I'm like, the fuck?
I did not want that because my mom has it. She's like, they just gave it to us.
Oh, well, maybe I'll check.
Like,
I'll double check.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's so many of those things. Like I get these emails like random, like who is somebody hacking into my shit? Like,
right?
Because like I gave my sister she has my Xfinity login, and every so often, I don't know how many different fucking devices they have in their home, but like every so often I'll go, there's a new sign in from blah blah blah. I'm like, and I have to text her like, did you just sign in from something new? Like, how many new devices do you have in your house?
Right.
Like, it's just
right. Were you in the bathroom with a tablet, just like, I'm bored. I think I'm gonna watch some Xfinity. No. Use the other 5 devices you already signed. I
get alerts every time and I panic. I think I gotta change.
Have you ever gone into the device listing to wipe out, like, because I have like old iPads that don't need to be signed in, so you just get like delete happy,
right?
And someone will be like, I can't log in anymore. What did you do? Oh, so that was yours.
Right. Or I'll go in and not even know that like which one is the right one. It's like, I have no idea which one is the old one and which one is the new one.
Why do I have 5 that are labeled Marcella's iPad? Why are they not iPad 1, iPad 2, iPad,
or can you at least give me dates? Like, when was the last login from this thing?
Last logged in September 20th, 1990.
That would be helpful.
You can delete that.
That one's gone. That's, I swear. I promise.
That can go away.
All right. Season 6, Episode 2, Bargaining Part 2, Redo. Original air date, May 22nd, 2001. Written by David Fury, directed by David Grossman. As the Hellions continue to ravage Sunnydale, a feral Buffy claws her way out of her own grave and must come to the aid of her friends. Because, it's not like she's done enough already. Immediately, fresh out of the grave, she got to help these jokers.
Right?
Amber,
she should have just said, nah.
Like, I need some time for me. I need to recuperate. Like, this is a lot right now to deal with. Amber Benson as Tara and Frank Ross as Razor.
Gross. Gross.
So, yes.
Razor is probably one of my least favorite villains on this show just because of how gross he is.
He's gross and he's dumb. Like, he's not witty. He's not interesting.
No. It's gross for no reason.
And also just like their whole existence is just like to go to towns and tear them up.
Why?
That's all you want? Like
that's it? Like, can I get you a sandwich, or you want to bust my window and throw a Molotov cocktail through it?
Like, that's sort of what a waste of an existence.
Now, here's a question I don't think we've ever asked on the show. Are Hellions covered under your homeowner's policy?
In Sunnydale, I should hope
In
so.
Sunnydale? Like, are there all of the, like, hellmouth opening clauses?
If anybody's smart, or somebody at some point, someone that like, look, we've been getting a lot, like, just like State Farm is like, hey, so we've been getting a lot of people talking about just like, you know, these things that are rising from the ground, and a lot of times, so I don't know how. I'm starting to, like, the first 2 we thought was a hoax and people were just like not being honest, but now there's been 20 this month, so what do we do?
Yeah. I'm not even sure I know what a Hellion is. But my khaki State Farm pants tell me that I shouldn't have to deal with this.
This is way above my pay grade. I don't.
How many underwriters are there in Sunnydale? And claims adjusters.
Right. They are always working, particularly at the Summers house. So these Hellions or demon bikers or rogue road pirates or some shit. I don't know. We can't seem to agree on a name for them. They get to Sunnydale, they're circling the Buffy bot and kept kicking the crap out of her. Actually, I think we've passed that point.
Yeah, they kicked the crap. Well, she ran, and for whatever reason, when she's hurt, she goes straight to Willow.
Right.
So she goes straight to Willow, and she interrupts the spell.
Right.
And so they all decide that they got to get out of there. And, you know, everyone, this is like one of the first times, I think, maybe because it's season 6, maybe it's because of the hair and makeup department, but all of our Scoobies, they look like little adults in this episode. Like, they all grown.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Like somebody.
Anya's hair's real long. She looking her age.
Right. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Xander's looking like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all look like adults.
Like everybody
but
had a
the
good
spell,
summer.
like, the bikers crash the spell, and they end up destroying the base that has the essence or whatever in it before Willow can finish. Now, because they're her friends and they're, let's face it, dumb, they just assume that it interrupted the spell and that was it.
Right.
I guess they didn't notice that it went straight into the ground.
Yeah.
And woke up our dear beloved Buffy.
Nope. So we see that Buffy is now awake in her grave, but the kids are off and running. Willow and Xander split up from Anya and Tara because Willow is knocked out and Xander is going to carry her. And once Xander and Willow get to a safe-ish space, you know, Willow's really concerned about going back. You know, she wants to go finish the ritual, and he's like, you know, the thing got broke. Maybe we can get another one and try again. She's like, that's the only one. It fucking sucks. Now we're useless. It's all for nothing. And she has a mini breakdown.
And she's like, I am tired. I had a snake come out of my mouth. My mouth.
This was all for nothing. I just really want a long bath and a siesta. Can we please?
I do like that Tara was like, I got her. I can get, no, you're right. I can't pick her up. Right. She tried. She did try,
like,
though.
I got her. When Xander's like, I can carry her. And she's like, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
You're right. Do I have to go with her?
Can we, like, can she go her way and I go my way? So they go off, and so while Xander and Willow are coming to terms with that, it may have all been for nothing, and the whole thing didn't work. Anya and what's her butt, Tara, they overhear, like, they almost get caught by the demons. They overhear them talking about looting, and this has worried Anya.
Concerned about looting.
About the magic box. She's like, stores, hitting stores. Are they talking about looting?
I just got it. And she did. She just took over because in the last episode, Giles left.
Right.
Timing.
Mm-hmm.
They make so many mistakes here. They don't tell Giles. They don't tell Spike.
Right.
Like, your two strongest people, like, Spike could have probably protected all of you while the spell was going on.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh, he would have been
Giles
great.
could have helped with the spell, but no.
He probably could have found a less black artsist type way to go about it, or he would have like had very valid reasons as to why y'all shouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. But because they did not want to be talked out of it, I'm assuming they did not include Giles. They tell themselves because, you know, we don't want to want him to get his hopes up, but nah, they just didn't want to get talked out of it.
And I understand not telling Dawn. This is grown folk business.
Right.
Dawn didn't need to know.
Exactly.
She didn't need to get her hopes up, and if it didn't work,
right,
it would have crushed her.
Right.
I don't understand, maybe because they firmly believe that Buffy is trapped in a hell dimension. incorrectly.
Which still, I don't
understand how season 5 Tara, who is opposed to bringing Joyce back and letting Dawn have the spell to resurrect dead people, to now being okay with it.
Right. It doesn't.
And I can only assume it's because they think she's trapped in a hell dimension.
That, and also because which still doesn't make sense to me. They keep saying that Buffy died for magical and mystical reasons. Buffy hit the ground.
She hit the ground. There really shouldn't be anything left of her.
No, her body was still there. It's not like she jumped into the portal and disappeared. That I would be like, okay, great. Maybe she is trapped in a hell dimension. Maybe she is, this is a magical reasoning, but no, they had a body and it was on the ground.
And you buried it.
Right. So
you put clothes on it.
Right.
Because let's be real. You guys didn't take her to a funeral home. You did all of this in secret.
Well, but they still had a headstone. How?
Yeah, they bought a headstone somehow, or maybe Willow magicked a headstone.
Maybe. But also, again, if it's supposed to be a secret, why she got a headstone?
Why does she have a headstone in the park in the corner? Like, couldn't you do one of the, tasteful ones that's just like a little square on the ground?
A little plaque?
But no, you got a big-ass headstone with the worst platitude on it I've ever seen.
She saved the world a lot. That would have been my first problem, crawling out of there, reading that epitaph and being like, what? That's the best you guys could do?
I'd be carrying it around town until I found them. Been like, this?
This is what I mean to you? This is it?
And who went out and got it so nobody else found it? Like, who cleaned up that scene? Because you can't have podunk cop running out, doing some patrol in the forest and like, why is there a dug up grave with Buffy Summers? Right. I guess we should go talk to Buffy Summers.
Right. Let's go find the Summers family and figure out what's going on here. Yeah, nobody comes back and asks about this. There's a lot of loose ends. There's a lot of things that just don't quite add up that we noticed 20 years later. Okay, so the Road Pirates are out doing their thing, and Spike is protecting Dawn. And he's working overtime. He even mentions, he's like, I'm your sitter, so you got to mind me. You got to listen to me. The fact that he calls himself...
She doesn't want to listen.
I know, because he's being Dawn and not staying away from the window while shit's on fire outside and demons are like going amok. But Spike decides, they're not safe in the house, so they just go on and hit the road. And while all this is happening, Buffy crawls out of her grave.
Tears her way out of her grave. It's not pleasant.
Poor thing.
And she's very disoriented.
Rightfully so.
And they put her in the worst,
that dress. That's like...
I'm surprised. I mean, season 1 Buffy would just be still standing there like...
This Buffy has so many reasons to hate her friends.
They put her in sensible pumps.
So, yes, the outfit that they chose to bury her in an eternity. 2, making her crawl out of her own grave. 3, the tombstone. 4, ripping her out of heaven. So, the list is basically kind of endless. Here's
right. And y'all still friends.
Right. You're pissed at us. Why is Buffy pissed? Pick anything. Any of the innumerable things that you have done to her between her death and her resurrection. Like, you guys fucked up hard.
You did. You really did. So Tara and Anya have made it back to the magic box, and it has not been looted.
Nope.
Thankfully. But they are just across the street.
Which also surprises me, though, that it hasn't been.
Me too. But when I remember the shots of the magic box, it is kind of like the entrance is in the corner, like a little alcove.
Right. So it's not right there.
Yeah. But you're also a magic box. How about you put a protective shield around it? Just saying. It's right there in the title of the store.
Right.
Magic.
Right. Lauren has the sense to have a non-demon violence spell happening in his clubs. And he also later on got a bigger protective bubble. So why can't you
Oh, those ladies.
Angel.
And this is why I cannot wait to get to Angel.
I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. But we're not there yet. I have to keep stopping myself because I want to start it again. Or I was like, no, I just want to wait. I like to put a little more comfort between the time that I watch it. Okay. So these dudes are looting out in the other world and blah, blah, or across the street. And Anya's like super worried that Xander might be dead somewhere in a ditch. And Tara's like, nothing. He's with Willow. If anything happened to him, I would know it, and you would know it too. And I understand, Tara, why you would think that you would know Willow if something happened to her. But Anya wouldn't know if anything happened to Xander.
I don't even think Tara would know.
No, I just it's cute.
It's nice. It's sweet. But she is going to do a little bit. She's going to help magically. Right. She's not going to put a barrier around the house, around the damn store to keep them safe. But she's going to send some little weird twinkly light that Xander
he mistakes.
Yes, he mistakes it for a bug. He thinks it's a bug.
It's going to burn him or sting him, or he's very afraid of it. But here we go with convenient spells. How many different times could a locator spell have been used for Dawn or anybody instead of any time that they were looking for somebody, because cell phone's not a big thing right now, and nobody has a fucking beeper, I guess, either.
Right anymore. She had it. She had one in season 2.
Exactly. One time we talked about and heard and saw the beeper.
Yep. If the apocalypse comes, beat me.
Right.
What'd you do with that? Mom stopped paying for it when she passed? I guess?
Probably whenever she found out, it's season 2 when she finds out she's a Slayer. Yeah. So.
Your BlackBerry, your phone, all of it gone.
Because now that I think about it, I don't think Buffy ever had a computer. I think Willow was always the only one with the computer.
Yep.
So yeah, Buffy lost a lot of privileges that season.
So Tara brings this little glowing ball of light, and Xander's reaction to it is actually hilarious.
Kill it!
And you can see Willow kind of laughing in the background.
Which I'm not mad at. That's me. Something weird flying at me. I'm not immediately going to assume that it's...
Right. And I mean, good on him for just swatting it away. Like, I would have swatted it once, twice, and then I'm running.
Right. You've done either that or it's like I'm smacking, trying to kill it. So Willow recognizes that it's Tara trying to find her. Xander makes a joke about Tinkerbell, and Tara leads them out of the woods.
And poor Buffy is like stumbling around town. She stops for a second and she leans up against this car, and its alarm goes off, and the sound is just deafening to her.
Well, it's always very, very alarming.
Yeah. And some dude is just like, "Hey, you, what are you doing here? Get out of here." And
with a shotgun.
She's just like, what? What? Yeah, with a shotgun. But I mean, come on. Road pirates are invading the town.
Right. So I guess he got that memo.
She's like 90 pounds soaking wet.
With boots on. And she looks hurt. And
she looks hurt.
Disoriented. And so he just chases her off. Thanks, Grandpa.
You're a piece of shit. I mean, myself, I've seen plenty of horror movie. I don't know if this stuff was going down if I went outside, if somebody set off my car alarm and I went outside and I found a small, tiny woman bleeding.
I wouldn't hold a gun on her. I also would not let her. I wouldn't invite her in either, though. I would call the police, like, "Hey, there's this broad out here in my driveway. She looks like she might be hurt. I don't know. I'm not going out there to check it out, but you guys should know."
I've seen The Strangers.
Right.
I'm not.
It's Tara here.
That's not how I'm going out.
No, I have come too far, too long.
Trust me, I'd rather slip and fall and die in the shower.
than for your last thought to be, why did I let her in?
Yes. I mean, slipping and falling in the shower, your last thought's going to be, oh God, not like this. I'm naked.
Right, exactly. It's like, the last bit of energy is like just trying to reach for a towel.
Yes. Trying to roll up in the shower curtain.
Must cover up.
When in all reality, the coroner is going to see you naked anyway. You shouldn't, just don't care about it. Right. You can't care.
But I don't know. I guess it's worse if you survive it, but you're just like unable to move.
Yes.
And so you've got police and everybody coming in and looking at it.
No, someone please.
And that's why just go in my dresser, my top dresser drawer. Just give me some underpants. That's all. Right.
That's why I felt Buffy in the body, like pulling Joyce's skirt down because she didn't want them to see.
I know. So
everybody has made it back to the magic box.
Right.
And Tara's taking care of what she's very concerned about Willow.
She is, which, she had a snake come out of her mouth. I get it.
Right. Every day the rest of my life, anything happens, snake came out of my mouth. Like, Buffy, I get you're mad at me for what I did, but a snake came out of my mouth. And not a small little garden snake.
No, this was a king cobra. This was serious business.
So Anya is trying to tell them, like, what are we going to do? Like, the Buffy bot is trashed. Giles is gone. And you look a little tired.
Right.
So they really just don't know what they're going to do. Dawn and Spike are off, and for whatever reason, they can't call them because no one has pagers or beepers or anything. So they don't know where Dawn and Spike currently are.
I'm assuming that Dawn and Spike are on their way to the magic box because that's just kind of been the unwritten, this is where we'll all meet kind of place when shit goes sideways.
I don't know where he was taking her. His crypt probably the safest place. If not the top of it, that weird, creepy bottom where he hid all of Buffy's stuff.
Right, yeah, exactly. Where he had the Buffy shrine.
Mm-hmm. And so they're all just kind of trying to figure out what to do. And in the meantime, the road pirates have gotten the Buffy bot and they have attached her to 2 different motorcycles.
Awkward.
Super awkward. And regular Buffy is just rolling through the streets. I don't know where she was going or what.
I think she's just
because you can't really tell.
Right. Her vision's all blurry from, they're showing the camera work is from her point of view. So vision is all blurry and stuff. And so I'm assuming, she's probably just mindlessly wandering at this point, still trying to get her faculties about her. So she comes across this scene where she sees Buffy bot is about to be ripped apart, and then shit's confusing. Mm-hmm. Suffice it to say.
She's confused as it is.
Exactly.
So look over and see yourself.
Like, what is happening right now? And then Buffy bot starts to yell at her, Buffy, hey, it's me.
Like, seriously?
Why did you
shut up?
Not now. And they rip her apart with the motorcycles because, destruction, that's their main goal in life. And so Buffy sees this and runs the fuck off because, of course.
Of course. That's what you should do. And they even say, they're like, look, boys, another toy.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable comment number 1.
Right.
And what he called it, he was like, you're a pretty toy, but you're still a toy. To the Buffy bot originally. It's like, ew.
Right. Ugh.
Another one for the fire boys.
So they go off, and the kids decide that Xander and them decide to go to the Summers house.
It's like, what, you really should have just stayed where you were.
Right.
You were in safety. Just stay where you were. They try to go after Buffy, but of course Buffy's slayerness kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to dismantle them.
Like, yeah, get it.
And, the gang is trolling through the alleyway with some weapons, and Tara's trying to make Willow feel better, and explaining, it's okay that it didn't work. And Willow's like, oh, it would have worked. If we hadn't been interrupted, it would have worked.
It's like, I had my shit together. It's like, now's not the time, Will.
Again, snake mouth. It would have worked. You don't get snakes out your mouth when it's not working. And so they come across like a demon and it attacks, but then Buffy's there. And Buffy is not interested in hearing anything they have to say.
Which, yeah.
And before that, when they're walking through the alleyway, while Willow and Tara are having their conversation, for whatever reason, Anya thinks this is the perfect time to bring up their engagement.
Yeah, because that's what everybody wants to hear about right now. This is what where our minds need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Xander is
happy news and sad times.
Right. It's like, yeah, we're all really scared right now and running for our lives, and the whole town is under attack, and we don't know where anything safety is, and you know, where's Dawn at, and where's Spike, and the Buffy bot's gone, and oh my God, the resurrection of Buffy did not work, but you know what? Xander and I are getting married.
Yeah, right. Doesn't that make you happy?
Let's talk bridesmaids dresses.
So then Buffy actually comes across them before they get to any demons. She kind of like lands in the alley in front of them. And Xander automatically, I don't know why,
because he's dressed completely different. Right.
Gangs. Just stop making assumptions.
And he's like kind of a dick about it. It's just like, oh crap, that's all we need is the Buffy bot. Did you?
Yeah. Couldn't you program it to go to Radio Shack?
Didn't you? Do you remember her wearing that outfit the last time you saw her?
Right. You think she went home and changed?
Do you remember her hair being that long? Like it's this Buffy's hair is much longer. And, oh, hey, can't you tell the difference between a human and a robot?
Right. Especially when you just saw her out in the woods with you.
Right.
Injured.
So,
but Willow is just looking at her like.
Willow has some sense.
Uh-huh.
And is like, hey, I'm pretty sure that's Buffy. Buffy takes off. They go after her, and she's like, poor Buffy. Is just like a little small, like a mouse scared in the alleyway up against a wall.
And instead of being nice, they all surround her and just start talking shit.
No. What's wrong with her? Is everything?
Yeah.
Is she going to eat her faces?
She's bleeding. Why is she so dirty? Why does she look like? And it's Xander that's like, oh my God, we're so stupid. And they're like, Xander.
He may as well started like flogging himself at that point. Like he was so upset. And you should be, because it's like our resurrection spell worked, but we brought Buffy back to life, but then we left her.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Right where we left her. And then Willow makes this terrible face it almost looked like she dry heaved in her mouth a little bit. Like one of them probably should have thrown up. That's the reaction you have to your friend having to claw their way out of their grave.
Exactly.
You should have thrown up.
Yeah, that should have been.
Or you should have immediately dropped to your knees and just started shaking back and forth.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I'm so stupid.
Right. And somebody just like repeating and crying like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just crying.
Mm-hmm. But no, again, they're like, what's wrong with you? And Xander tries to talk to her, but she's still just too confused. And she can't, like, everything's kind of muffled.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, her senses are not 100% yet. And then here come demon road pirates interrupting this touching moment.
Bastards.
And for whatever reason, again, assuming they're, we got Slayer back here. We got, you don't know who you fucking with.
Right.
We got axes, we got tools, and we got her. And Buffy ran.
Right. Hello. Okay, that's fine. Did you know that I'm a very powerful man witch?
Warlock.
All right.
That's the
word. That's the word. So Buffy takes off and leaves the gang to fend for themselves. And, Willow and Tara they all pretty much seem to be up to it, except for Anya, clearly.
Yeah. I don't understand why Willow and Tara don't have better defensive magic skills.
It's all very convenient. Like, they should have been able to have just ripped these dudes apart just with their minds. Like, I don't understand. What's the point of your magic? What is the fucking point?
Right. What is the point? I don't understand how you can levitate a pencil, but you can't levitate a demon?
Right. Like, you couldn't levitate that axe out of Xander's hand and just, like, chop some heads off. Like, this, nobody should have had to have lifted a finger to do anything other than to direct where you're going magically, where you're throwing them. Right.
Now, me personally, I would have loved when that demon backhanded Willow and she went flying, if we would have seen, the rest of the Scooby Gang trying to attack, and then just like little sparks coming from Willow's hands as she gets up.
Because that should have been enough to piss her off.
Right. And we all know when she gets pissed off.
Right. The magic
just
starts
like
to flow.
Uncharmed. her powers are tied to her emotions.
Right.
But no, Buffy didn't run too far. Once he hit Willow, she was still kind of cowering behind stuff.
Right.
And she does what Buffy always does. She stands up.
She gets in the game.
And you see that look, that, okay. Mm-hmm. And he hits her.
Mm-hmm.
And what he doesn't understand is, which Spike has slowly learned this lesson over time, don't piss her off. The madder you make her, the more she's going to hurt you.
Right. And she barely acknowledges the punch in the face, and then he goes for another one, and she stops it and kicks off in his demony arse.
Yep.
In his dusty leather clad ass.
Fighting all the other ones who look like bad rejects from. They look
like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn, or like Guns N' Roses, the zombie version. Like, I don't even know what these guys are. They remind me of the Nazi demons in Angel.
Yeah.
But they nasty. But so now the whole group is, in on the fight. Willow uses her crossbow, but then all of the demons are on top of Buffy, fighting her and kicking her and hitting her with bats, and she manages to throw them all off.
Yeah. Which I'm still surprised though with like why there's not as much like ripping their heads off. There's a lot of punching, right. But I just feel like there should be a lot more just taking heads off. Like this one demon with like, it looks like
with the long dark hair.
Yeah, it looks like The Mask, like the dude, like Eric Stoltz and Cher, The Mask.
So gross.
Not Jim Carrey Mask.
Not Jim Carrey. Not Cuban Pete Mask. No. But, like a physical deformity.
Right, but serious sadness of a movie in the 80s. Cher and Eric Stoltz Mask. So in the meantime, while all this is going down, Spike and Dawn are still traveling about in Sunnydale. They come across the Buffy bot. Which,
this bugged the hell out of us the first time we recorded it. We don't understand how Dawn even saw the Buffy bot.
It just makes no sense. It's just the trajectory that they were, like, where they were going, like how it was. Yeah. The bot is like around, they were going down the street. The bot's like around the corner behind a wall or something.
And she's like, what's that over there? What's what? Right. What are you pointing at? Nothing from your point of view.
Right. And now's not the time to go sightseeing. Like, we're literally running for our lives.
Right. Was she pointing at, like, could she see the burn barrel? Was that what?
That? You want the fire? That's fire, Dawn. It's fire. We leave that alone. That's
we don't touch fire, Dawn. But they come across the body of the Buffy bot, and while, for whatever reason, Spike decides to start gathering parts.
Sure.
And he's just like, the Willow's normal
right.
spackling job is not going to cut it this time. I think the bot is done. And the bot is telling Dawn, where's the other Buffy?
Yeah, it's like the me. Like, I saw me. She ran off. She was here, then she wasn't, and I don't know what happened. And Dawn's like, holy shit, you saw real Buffy? So she takes the word of a defunct robot to assume to know for a fact that yes, oh my God, Buffy is alive somewhere.
Again,
she runs.
Why
off.
Not just say, Spike? She just said Buffy's alive.
Right.
We got to go.
Also, Spike has a vehicle.
Right? Instead, you're going to run your duck-footed ass down the street very slowly.
Spike should have rolled up on her. Like, as she's running, like, just put her by real slowly. Like, would you like a ride? Like, you want to hop on? I mean, we could just keep going like this.
And the gang is still fighting. Xander is using his axe on someone, and Buffy's broken a neck, and it looks like everybody's dead. And they want to, they're like, Buffy, and she's like, fuck off. Don't touch me. And they want to connect with her, but again, she's just like, I'm bleeding. Why am I fucking here again? Like, you can see her get upset about all of this.
Right.
And she takes off. And before they can follow after her, Mr. Nasty likes to tear up little girls wakes up.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Is this where he makes the paper comment, or was that in the first
I don't know. So it's all a blur. I know he made like the anatomical one when he first came upon them and yada yada. But so Dawn makes her way to the battleground of where they are fighting in the alley, and she comes across the dead demon, one of them, and for whatever reason she know. As the Buffy bot said that the other Buffy was here, so she automatically was like, yes, Buffy must still be alive. So then, therefore, yes, Buffy must be going to the spot on where she died. So they go to the crazy tower, which, she's right. Which, congratulations, way to go. Way to work it out, Dawn, but I don't
know why Buffy went there. Well, because she saw it.
Right.
After Buffy killed that demon in the alley that Dawn comes across, she looks up and she sees the tower, and that's probably the last thing she remembers.
Right.
So she heads there, and Dawn makes the same assumption. Good on Willow for using magic now.
Finally.
She does some kind of spell and throws some Play-Doh at the demon's face.
Yeah, and then she also, he's getting ready to, razor through Tara, and then she has some sort of protection spell that she puts on Tara or something, or I don't know, a shield that breaks his razor fingers off.
Where was that 10 minutes ago?
Right. And eventually Tara just uses some old-fashioned axe and just hand uses her actual hands and kills him with an axe, which awesome, cool, way to go. And finally,
my first axing.
So finally, all the demons are dead, and the gang go off to go find Buffy, I guess. And Buffy has made it to the top of this tower, and Dawn, Buffy is remembering her last moments right before she threw herself off of this tower.
And she's lip syncing them for whatever reason.
Right, the last moments, and Dawn shows up, and you know what? This thing, it's been 2-3 months. Nobody has torn this down yet?
All I got to say about that is they didn't tear down the damn school. Why are we still wandering around with crispy mare meat in season 4?
Right.
That's nasty.
Sunnydale's government leaves a lot to be desired. And I don't know how they both Dawn and Buffy managed to climb up this thing a second time after, being built by loon birds and being just sitting there unattended for, wait a minute. I saw something. There's a shot of them looking down off the thing, and somebody or something is moving down there.
I think it's a crew member.
Right. It's
who did not get out of the shot in time.
It's just some
like a gaffer.
Yeah, just walking around with a red hoodie, out of all the things to be wearing that day.
There's also a really bad editing mistake in this episode, and it's when Razor is on the ground. So after Buffy runs away, you can see Razor stand up behind the gang, and then they take a shot to his face and his eyes opening up.
Right.
And then he gets up again.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you motherfuckers, how'd you not notice that?
That is.
If I noticed it, how'd you not notice it?
It's so obvious. So, so Dawn is trying to talk Buffy down off of this whole.
By saying this tower was built by crazy people, and I don't think it's holding up so well.
You are correct, because it starts to shake.
It's not up to code.
A strong breeze comes by and starts to shake the thing.
And it is when you see it from behind, Buffy's swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
How are you so calm?
Because she's still confused. So she asks Dawn, "Is this hell?" And
which is really sad. And she says it in the most meek, timid voice.
Right. She's it's just is this hell? Is she?
And Dawn's answer should have been, "You're not wrong." But
you're not dead anymore.
But instead she's like, "No, you're here. You're here with me." And Buffy's just like, "I'd rather jump."
Yes, Dawn takes it a little personally. She's like, "What?" And Buffy's like, I don't wanna.
She's like, "I sacrificed myself. I made the ultimate sacrifice, and everything was so clear, and I knew what I was doing, and I made why am I here?"
I thought we did this already.
And I can't blame her. She did. She made this huge sacrifice, and for them to just negate all of that.
Right.
They're not your friends.
No.
But then again, you do some pretty shitty stuff to them too.
They have a really weird relationship. There's been so many times they've all almost killed each other. Like, I don't understand how any of you are still getting Christmas cards, let alone like hanging out together. Like, there's
Right.
So Buffy or Dawn is like begging and pleading for Buffy to stay. Buffy's still teetering, like, I don't think I wanna. But then it looks like Dawn's life is in peril because the thing is starting to collapse. So Buffy kicks in. Her heroic feats kick in, and so she grabs Dawn, and then she escapes off the thing. They grab hold of a
most
pulley.
Ridiculous way.
Yeah, grab hold of a pulley, and like Spider-Man her way down, basically.
And
And
she's like holding on to her, and she like jumps and like lands on the. But that stunt double looked like whoever that other stunt double was a little heavier than they expected when they jumped. But they managed to stay on their feet.
And then the whole tower comes collapsing down.
But they're safe, and Dawn's very happy, and she's hugging Buffy, who still is just like,
why am I here?
why am I here? No one has answered. I've been asking all episodes.
Nobody has been able to tell me.
No, you just keep skirting around it. She looks miserable, absolutely miserable when the episode ends.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's bargaining part 2.
Right. And it's like there's the very last scene is just basically Dawn crying and hugging Buffy and just saying, you're here, you're alive, you're home. And then just the last shot is of Buffy's face just looking like, fuck. And
Miserable. Absolutely miserable.
And it's just so sad. It's so sad.
It is really sad.
And
no song.
Nope.
No song at all. You had a good burn, though. Did you pick that one, or did I?
No, I think that was you.
It was Xander in the woods with Willow saying, this is really starting to grate my cheese.
Which is something I use a lot still to this day. That really grates my cheese.
These woods aren't that big. Now, I know we've been going straight because I've been following the North Star. And Willis said, Xander, it's not the North Star. It's an airplane.
And then to like kind of continue on, like with burning for him, like the burn on himself, he's like, no, that's not an airplane. That's a blimp. I could see how someone could mistake it for an airplane.
Yeah. We had quite a few bodies dropped in this episode. The Buffy bot got pulled to shit by the Hellions. Buffy killed 3 Hellions on her own. Willow killed 1. Xander killed 1. And Tara killed Razor with an axe.
The main one. It does pass the Bechdel test because clearly there's a lot of talk about Buffy.
There are plenty of random trivias in this episode. As Spike's leaving the house at 23:19, you can see his reflection in the mirror to the right of the front door, as well as in the glass of the door side light.
Oh, they just didn't care a lot. There's a lot of mistakes, and also you mentioned you mentioned before about Razor waking up in one shot and again in another one, and then also what we just saw was the random crew member just like strolling around. I wonder, does he he's like, I'm in an episode of Buffy, and like he shows his friend. Do you guys know Todd was in an episode of Buffy? It's like, that's me right there at the red hoodie.
That's me in the hoodie.
Like, you weren't supposed to be in there.
This is the first episode in the series to not have Rupert Giles in it, and it shows.
I miss him.
I miss him so much.
Yeah.
They need a little hairy eyeball,
yes.
as Willow pointed out in season 4.
Right. Because Giles,
and we only have a very basic moral for this story. If you're going to bring your friend back from the dead, dig her up first.
Yeah. It's real simple, guys. I mean,
right. Like when they were making the checklist for this spell, at no point did anyone think that they should dig her up first.
No, nobody even brought a shovel, I don't think.
No. That was never even in the planning.
I don't even think it was like it wasn't even like, oh yeah, once we do the spell and everything, then we dig her up. I don't even think digging her up was ever mentioned at all.
No. How did they think she was going to get out of there if it had worked? Was she just going to float through the grass?
There was a body. Why?
Right.
She's not going to just magically appear like Angel did. Just like drop down from the skies.
Naked.
And sweaty and shivering and scared.
Where does clothes go?
I don't know. Why are you naked? Like,
why are you naked?
That's the first question. Not why are you here? How'd you get here? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come back? Why are you naked?
Why are you naked? I'm sure he was like, why am I naked? Where was I? And why am I naked?
So the other dimensions don't require clothing at all? I don't.
Right. It's pants optional. Which, speaking of pants optional, I posted on Facebook about how Pennsylvania's mandated masks in public. Mm-hmm. And they have this like graphic that says no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service.
Right.
So I'm okay to just not wear pants.
So I can Winnie the Pooh it.
Yeah, I could just Winnie the Pooh it, like.
So I guess,
start cocking it all over the grocery store.
Right. So that's just, it's just one of those things I guess is supposed to go without saying. But if you're going to go so far as to go
talk
everywhere
about my
else,
shirt and my shoes.
Like wear clothing and mask, please.
Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting for the first person to like, I've got a mask, I got a shirt, I got my shoes.
There has to be somebody. It has had to have happened already. Just in some college town
Jason
somewhere.
Segel in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's naked and he's flapping his. That's what I picture in my brain.
Oh, so basically wear shirt, shoes, mask, and pants when you go out.
And pants, please.
When you go out and about. So let us know what you thought about Bargaining Part 2 and 1. Sure, why not? Or any of the episodes, actually. Mm-hmm. You can record an MP3 file less than 2 minutes and email it to revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Facebook at Revisiting Sunnydale, the Facebook page, on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale, or on Instagram at RVS_podcast. All right, so again, shout out and thank you to the ladies of Buffy and the Vampire Slayer podcast, as well as welcome to all of you new listeners. Next episode, which is already posted and already been recorded because we're doing this again and stuff, and Afterlife. So please enjoy the next several episodes. You can subscribe, follow, like us. Me, Camila, on Twitter at @the_rugged angel.
And me, Marcel, at msphere7338.
Until next time, thank you for listening.